Hi Flosstube, it's Karen, Recovering Monogamous Stitcher. I'm back with video number 30. Today is Friday, October 27th, 2023. I'm so happy to have you all here. Whether you're a returning viewer or if you've just stumbled across my channel, you're so welcome here. I'm happy to have you all here. I'm loving the stitching community, the virtual stitching community that I'm finding on Flosstube. I really appreciate comments, and I know you don't always every time make a comment. I don't either when I watch Flosstubes, but I do appreciate the comments and appreciate answers to questions. So anyway, I love this community, and thank you so much for joining me once again. I have lots of things to show, and I hope my piles, I can keep them straight. I have separate piles all over here. And I even have sticky notes to remember things that I've forgotten in the past. And so we'll get started. The first thing I want to revisit is my celebration giveaway for, my celebration share for my 3K subscribers. There were 2 people who never did respond with their address, so I redrew this morning. And so the 2 winners of these patterns are number 1, JBW Designs, is Rose Heck. Rose, if you would respond to my Gmail email in the notes down below, please, with your address. I can get this out. I would love to get it out before I go to Florida so I don't have to take it along. And the number 4, the Teresa Kogut Teddy pattern, is Stitching Scotty. And so to you also, please use my Gmail address down below, and unless your name is Stitching Scotty, also give me your real name so that the post office will deliver it to you, and as soon as possible, please. I would really appreciate that so we can get that done and taken care of. Now, another thing I forgot to revisit last video, but the previous video I had mentioned to you about this bag maker, Sassy Sassenach, on Etsy. She's offering my viewers a 20% discount, and the first code she sent me was incorrect. She caught it on many people who ordered and corrected it, but the correct code is now in the notes down below, and it is Recovering Stitcher 23, and that's a 20% discount on her bags, and she does lovely bags. She has a thread bed inside that closes with a snap, and she has a cute little zipper pull. Nice quality vinyl, very nice, very nice. So take advantage of that. And I asked her when that expired, and she said it doesn't expire. So, I was thinking maybe since it was 23, maybe it would expire at the end of the year, but she said it doesn't. So take advantage. That is such a generous offer for a small business owner to give a 20% discount. You know, when you know, for her work, I'm sure she doesn't have a big margin anyway, and she's giving that discount. So please support her. SassySassenach.etsy.com. Okay, took care of that one. Get that Post-it note off. And before I forget, I want to do a shout out. These are new to me stitchers. They've been around though for a year. I happened to see their video number 20 popped up in my feed, and I watched and really enjoyed it. They are Loose Thread Stitchers. They're from Minnesota. They are Jeanie and LeAnn. Just delightful women, and I love the projects that they shared. And LeAnn has a special interest in turtles, and she was giving a little educational information about the difference of certain kinds of turtles and problems when people just release turtles into the wild and they're not meant to be, and very interesting. So I intend to go back and catch up some of the earlier videos and get to know them better. So Jeanie and LeAnn, sorry it took me so long to find you, but happy that I have, and I've subscribed. And you may want to stop by and see them too. That's Loose Thread Stitchers. Okay. Now, I don't have any FFOs this time, but I do have an FO. And it has to do with Jingle Ball. I was very fortunate and got all 3 classes that I wanted to get. And I had decided I wasn't going to order kits, and it's a good thing because kits were sold out when I finally got through. So I got my 3 classes, the Misty Pursel, her ornament finish to make smooth curves on oval ornaments. So I'm looking forward to that, and nice finishing tricks. Beth Twist, the Heartstring Samplery, is going to give a class on decorative pins. I have all my stuff here for that. And I also got into the Bis Goru class with Jeanie McGowan, but I don't have her PDF yet. I went back on the site, the Jingle Ball site, to get the list of materials that I would be required, and I have those in here, but no PDF yet. So I think she said she's sending it around November 1st or something like that. But Misty Pursel got her stuff out like within 2 days of when we signed up. So I have the PDF, I have all my materials together here, and I finished my stitching, my pre-stitching. So I'm so happy about that. So the 3 darling ornaments, and of course they're going to be oval, and that's the point of that class, that you learn how to make smooth ovals, which would translate to circles also. There's the other, the Santa, the ho ho ho. And I would have liked to do these on a smaller count. How do you say it? It's a smaller count. You have a smaller product with a higher count. But I would have liked them to be smaller. But my other fabrics just were not the right color, and of course, I'm in the dead zone because we're getting ready to go to Florida, so I can't order and expect something to come in the mail. So I had to use what I had. And so these are the larger size. They're, it's not 14 count, it's 28 count something, even weave of some kind that I had. So it's equal to like a 14 count Ada, size-wise. I would have liked them smaller, but they'll be fine. And I have, I found the jingle bells that I needed, and they were also 50% off at Hobby Lobby. How often does that happen? Something you absolutely need, and it's on sale. Usually I miss the sales and end up paying full price. So anyway, I have this scrapbook box with all of my Jingle Ball stuff in it, ready to pack in the van. There we go, and I'll be ready for the Jingle Ball. So that was my FO and my whips. So let's take a look at my book of days and see what I've done since the last Flosstube. Not too many stickers, but I don't like huge stickers, and the books I have just really have big stickers in them because then I don't have room to write. Okay, at the last Flosstube, I had said that I need to put pedal to the metal on modern folk embroidery because, you know, tick-tock, I'm getting older and I want to get this project done. So it's modern folk embroidery from Jacob, and it's Forget Me Not, and those of you who've been with me are sick of hearing this, but they're new viewers. So I am following Katie Strachan's project to mount it on a box. So it has to be exactly the right size. And I spent quite a bit of time, I think 3 days, 3.5 days doing more fill-in. So I filled that one in. I think that was that. I think I did that, either that one or that one. I don't remember. I did this flower, started to redo this one. So I'm seeing some progress, and I really do need to give more time. So this is Forget Me Not, modern folk embroidery. Okay, and then I think it was last time or the time before, I showed my whip basket and said I had several in there that I hadn't taken stitches on yet, but they were jumping up and down saying, me next, me next. I didn't start those, but I started 2 other ones. Flosstube is such an influence. I wanted to do fall and Halloween, and I hadn't been working on that. I'd been full steam ahead on my my big samplers and things, and so I pulled out a couple fall things that I have wanted to do, and I've gotten started. One of them is Midnight Ride by Blackbird Designs. I've had this pattern in my possession for several years. I've seen it on several Flosstubes. I know Sarah at sStitchySpot is working on this or has just finished it because I saw it on her video. Okay, I did a couple days and I got the bird done. So I still have all the alphabet that goes around and the personalization, the year, and so forth. Let me show you. Okay, now when I looked at this and I was looking at the chart, I thought this was a branch. And I thought, what is that orange stuff? Why is there an orange on the branch? That doesn't make sense. Well, doy, it's a broom. So of course it makes sense that it's there. So anyway, duh. The other one I started is from the book Winds of Autumn, Blackbird Design. There's a theme here. And I'm not going to bend my book back. I don't like to bend books back. So this is called First Winds of Autumn. And you can see part of the bird there, but you can't see the other part. So that's First Winds of Autumn. And I got a little start on that, got the bird. And this part you don't see in that picture. And on the chart, at first I thought it's a wing. I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry. And I don't know how to edit, so I'm sorry, I can't take it out. I thought it was a wing. Well, no, it's not a wing. This is the wing. And there's a branch coming out of it. I think that bird's wearing a backpack. That's the only, it's connected to the bird. It's a backpack. I've never seen a bird with a backpack, but okay. But it makes such a lovely strawberry. I can't wait to do this and get it done. That bird is a heck of a lot of stitching, I'll tell you. That was 3 days. And very little, and I didn't even take the thread off my needle. I want to keep going and get the feet outlined and get the rest of that tail before I pause on this one. So it's called First Winds of Autumn, and it's in the book Winds of Autumn from Blackbird Designs. And I have a couple others that I've been wanting to do. I have not put any stitches in them yet, but I have them out, and I've chosen a fabric, although I'm not too thrilled with it. This one, October 31st, and I wanted a gray fabric, gray background, gray tone, and I have so many tans and creams and things for samplers and my fabrics I have that are grayish tone are like 40 count, and I didn't want to do this on 40 count. I wanted to keep the size that it is called for. So what is it called for? 32 count. And I had a piece of Ada, the 16 count, which was kind of bluish, but I took fabric paint and diluted it in water and dunked the fabric in the water, and I didn't bring that bag over here. Anyway, you'll see it next time, or when I actually start stitching on it, so I could make it grayish, and it worked out great. It's grayish now. It doesn't look like light blue, ice blue anymore. So that one is imminent. The other one that is imminent is Spell of the Moon from the same book, Winds of Autumn. Love this one. I've always loved this one. I've messed around with fabrics. Not really happy with what I have, and I can't order right now, so this may wait until I can order a piece of fabric. And I played with the threads. I have DMCs, of course, but I did not like the DMC color they had for the moon. It was like a tangerine, bright tangerine color, and I didn't like it. So I went through my overdyed threads, and I found one that I will use instead. And what was it called? I'll tell you when I actually start stitching on it. So anyway, I've been playing autumn and having some fun and doing some Halloween-y stuff. So I've broken out of my full steam ahead on my narrow little plans. Okay, I got some Stitchy Kind. That's it for my whips. I got some Stitchy Kindness. I got a couple cards from winners of patterns from the 3K celebration. Look at this sweet one, Sunbonnet Sue. And this is Nancy. I think this one's, yeah, this one's Nancy. Nancy, I have a quilt in my quilt closet right here that came from my grandmother's house after she died, and it looks almost identical to this. It's got a little more, but the quilting is similar. So I'll show that one at some point. I'll get down to that, that layer of things that came from my grandmother, but I don't think she made it because it's just not her style at all. So anyway, we'll look, and so remember this, because when we get to that one, you'll see how similar that is. Thank you, Nancy, for the card. That was very sweet. And I got another card from Lisa. Handmade. I admire people who do these handmade things. It is so cute. Halloween orange. Nice. I know it's handmade. It's like, it's stickers she put on and stuff. It's very nice. Thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate it. It was fun getting those. Okay, Stitchy Kindness. Now haul, I don't have much haul because of course I'm in blackout zone, but I had gotten some things a little earlier and I don't think I showed them to you. So I'm gonna show these now. Oops, a couple Amazon purchases. I have this My Home Sweet Home by Brenda Gervais, and this, I'm doing Katie Strachan's color conversion on it, and it has spools of silk. And I got this box, rattle, rattle. I got this box from Amazon. It's, I think it's made for Gutterman thread. I think that's what I searched for, or Selkie thread or something, but it's perfect. They fit perfectly, and it's a nice way to store them instead of just laying in a plastic bag. So that's an Amazon purchase I got. Stick this in my Lori Holt bag, which is nicely boxed at the bottom, so that sits in there nicely. And the other thing I wanted to show you, I know I've talked about, I'm kitting up the Smith sampler, and that I got Vicki Clayton silks. And I got this jumbo bobbin box from Amazon. It's for jumbo bobbins. Like my long arm has jumbo bobbins, but they're in boxes. But this is perfect for those Vicki Clayton silks. So if you're doing Vicki Clayton silks, it's on Amazon. I think it was $8 or $9 for one box, I think. But be sure you order a jumbo, and the jumbo one is pink. There's another on the same page that's gray, and it's just sewing machine bobbin size. It's not jumbo, so make sure you get the jumbo. So that works great for the Vicki Clayton silks. And I got a notice that my book of days and the fabric that I ordered for Smith Sampler will be delivered on Monday. So I can't show them to you now, but I will have them before we leave. And that's a relief. Happy to know that. So I will have that to show you next time. Okay. Okay, I have plans. My plans moving forward, of course, I'll lose some time in the transition from here to Florida. But the hats, first week of the month, Sal, I will be working on Maria Vincenza Laricia. By the way, Nicola pronounced it Larici, I believe. And so if I guess I'm wrong, it must be Larici, even though it looks like it's spelled differently. But so Maria Vincenza Larici, my first week of the month. And then I will be doing my jingle ball stitching when the Bis Goru pattern comes from Jeanie, and I'll be getting that pre-stitching done before the jingle ball. And then any of these projects that I've started in my whips I'll be working on. And my next Flosstube will be November 10, and that will be in Florida. And it's going to be a little different this year, and we'll talk about that when I get down there. And that's all I have on cross stitch this time. I'm going to move ahead to the quilt. So if you're not sticking with us, thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. And if you are sticking with me, thank you very much. And I'll tell you about this quilt. This is called a double 9 patch, and this pattern is from Fat Quarter Shop. They have a free PDF of the single block. And the single block is like this. It's a 9 patch of 9 patches. That's one block, and that is free. But if you would like a download that gives you all the math for the different sizes for crib, lap, twin, and queen, that's available as a PDF download for like $6.98 or something. But it's PDF download, so there's no shipping. It's very, very reasonably priced to have all that math done for you. So, okay, we'll take a closer look at the quilt. I'll talk to you about the quilting choices I made on it and secondary designs and things. And you can see I had 3 extra blocks and I made a table runner too. Okay, so transition here. Okay, so double 9 patch. Again, it's because the 9 patch design is made up of 9s, so it's 999. I did this as a scrappy quilt. I had solids left from a different project, and so I did all solids, clearly. The one thing I did that was consistent in all of them, there are 2 shades of gray. There's a darker gray and a lighter gray, and every block has the dark gray in the center. That's kind of a little bit of my OCD coming out. I just sort of have to have some kind of something that's consistent. The quilting I designed it, but I used techniques and designs from Judy Madsen. She is an award-winning quilter. And I have taken, not classes in person, but I have taken iQuilt classes through AQS. Love her style. She's very much, I love the way she works. She gets secondary designs out of the things that she quilts, and I love that. That was great fun to do. And this one, as I say, I had done, practice projects in classes, and I just took those techniques and elements and put them together in the quilt. Now, this kind of quilting, you lay it out and you draw, you mark your lines, because you don't just make it up as you go along. You have to get all your diagonals continuing and going across the whole quilt. And the one thing that makes this style really effective is where you have a wider space, and then it's divided with a narrow and a medium and a narrow, and then you do the filling. So the variety of the width of these lines really makes it effective. And you can see in the secondary design, I did my L's and E's set on point in the center there. Oh, not in the center, it's actually in each quarter of the 9 patch. There, 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 there. And it gets repeated and repeated. And my favorite border, piano keys. And then I let the design end at the border, and then did piano keys to finish it off. Now this lap quilt has been much used and washed, so it's not blocked. It doesn't hang straight. It's certainly not show worthy at this point, but I love it. And the grandkids were here again in this summer, and the youngest said, "Oh, it's my favorite quilt." He loves it, and I pulled it off the back of the couch in the family room to put up on the wall here, and he loves this one. We have a chair that's very slouchy. It's sort of like a huge beanbag. It's a big chair with soft, big cushions, and if I get in it, I need a tow truck to come pull me out. I can't even get out of it. But the kids love it, and they love to take a lap quilt and pull it over themselves, and it's almost like they have a private fort. So, okay, this is the idea. And the table runner, I set them on point because I had 3 extra blocks. So that's what I did with those. And I think it's very effective even with the solids, but it could be done as a 2-color quilt. That would be very effective too, or a color family that with different shades would be very effective. But my favorite thing about this quilt is the design, that I designed the quilting based on the quilt teacher. Now, I have a book by Judy Madsen also. She probably has more than one at this point. But Wide Open Space, Quilting Wide Open Spaces, she's just a great quilter. Not everything that she does is geometric like this. She does flowers and so forth. Well, flowers. She does, you do a template and you mark off the template area, and then you do heavy quilting around it, and so that template, whatever shape is, puffs up. It's very nice. So the quilt is called Double 9 Patch. Pattern available from Fat Quarter Shop. This quilting design was based on Judy Madsen's style of quilting. And that's all I have for this quilt. So, super short video, but no reason to try to pad it any. I love the quilt. I hope you do. And if you do, get that pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. They've done all the math for you, and it's just very striking. And with your color choices, you know, you can make it go with many different styles and so forth. And it doesn't have to be quilted in this modern way either. You know, it can be edge to edge all over quilting and just be a really nice quilt. So, well, thanks so much for stopping by and joining me. And it's about time for me to shut down the sewing room and get some things packed up and ready to go to Florida. We will be driving on November 1st. So we'll be down there late afternoon, November 1st. And I'll be back on November 10th. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks.